Welcome to Modern Musings, conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone, looking at ourselves and the world through the lens of the 21st century. Hello, and welcome back. I'm your hostess, Kristen, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Amber and Cindy.
Hello.
Hello.
If this is your first time joining us, we're glad to have you here today. And if you're returning, then welcome back. Today, we are going to deep dive into dreams and dream interpretation. And we are probably going to use a couple of our little dream interpretation books and flip through and talk about some of the weird dreams that we've had and what they might mean. So I'm really looking forward to, having this discussion with you guys. I know this is something that we often talk, with our loved ones and friends about. Do you ever have like a weird dream and then you can't wait to tell your coworker or your spouse or a sibling or your parent, about your weird dream? I feel like I've always done that since I was a kid. So
yeah,
I log my dreams. If I remember the dream, I write it down.
I feel like if someone tells me their dream, then I must be in like their deep inner circle. I feel like that's a very intimate conversation to have with someone.
Yeah.
Something that you dream about. So
that's true. It is. Dreaming is a very intimate thing, and especially the recurring dreams.
Well, and I think it gives a window into your psyche and some things that are going on, So, yeah.
Yeah, so
very true.
In this particular episode, we didn't have like a whole like specifics on what specifically we wanted to talk about. I just know the one thing that Amber and I were just like, I have to have my dream book.
Yes.
I have had this dream book. It's called 10,000 Dreams and their traditional meanings. And it's really funny because it's traditional. It's actually funny because this book's kind of old. I think I got this for Christmas one year when I was a teenager. Maybe Santa brought it to me. The spine is very well loved.
It's pretty floppy.
Yeah, I'm surprised the back half hasn't fallen off. But it's a very old print. And it's kind of like a thesaurus. Like, there's not like a list of words, I don't think. Is there a list of words in the back?
Maybe.
No, there's not. Oh. There's not an index.
See, that's
there is. I'm sorry. It's at the beginning.
At the beginning. Okay. Yeah, I like indexes.
I always go to the back. Like, there is, but it just has like the list of letters or the list of words in alphabetical order.
Oh, okay.
And it says like what each of the words are in here. But I often find like I go run to this book for answers. Mm-hmm. And I found that a lot of the things that I dream about, I have a hard time finding them in here because of the verbiage. Actually, one things I just randomly opened to the letter F and I saw flax spinning. And I was like, what the heck is that? And who dreams about that? And Amber said, maybe a 90-year-old woman. Yeah. And I was like, let me go look up flax spinning online. And I did. I went and I watched a YouTube video about flax spinning.
Listeners, do you know what flax spinning is, please? I
told you what flax spinning is, and I'm not 90 years old.
You're 90 years old.
But I am the crone.
Yeah, you are the crone.
Yeah, it's a crone thing. Like, if
so.
You know, you know. If you crone, you crone.
And I suppose I should say this on the recording of the podcast that we are streaming live on TikTok right now.
Yes, we are. Yes.
So we're talking simultaneously to people on TikTok, and then we're also streaming. We're also recording our podcast.
Yeah. It's kind of a new thing for us. We've recorded us doing video. Amber's done a couple of like video edits for our podcast.
And she's done some TikTok
and
reels
we've tried
stuff,
to set up a camera and record us, but
video editing
is very tedious.
Yes.
And one of the issues that I found with it is that it's a lot of memory too, to record the video. Not to get like too off topic, but we actually had a mom's digital camera set up when we first started
Yes,
recording our
yes.
podcast. Our intention was to have video and audio component together, and we would just edit them like simultaneously. Wow, that was like
No,
pipe
not
dream.
happening.
No.
Yeah, no.
And
not happening.
the thing that was really funny is her camera kept going to sleep. Like it would record like 20 minutes and then it would
It has
turn
a
off.
timer and it turn off. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were like, well, okay.
Well,
that's
we
not...
tried at the beginning, yeah, and then we
Mhm.
also we all got the little selfie sticks, and we tried to record ourselves while we were podcasting. And anyway, it's a lot of work putting together content.
Well,
For sure.
so I wanted to let me step back to my weird, ancient, archaic dream interpretation book.
Well, I have a
And-
slightly newer one. It's like
Right.
12. It's called
Amber was
12,000
like,
Dreams
mine
instead
is
of
12,000
Yeah,
and mine
right,
has 10,000. And we were trying to figure out, it doesn't even have like an author's name on it. So I kind of, I don't know, part of me is like old fashioned and I like having the book. Just like there's like, I feel so compelled to keep a dictionary in the house, but like,
Right.
do I really need a dictionary? I could just look it up on my phone. So part of me wants to keep the dream book. You know, it is
Mhm.
sentimental because it was a gift, and I've had it for like 25 years, and I've gotten a lot of dream interpretations from it. But the other part of me wants to kind of like branch out and see what the internet has, because I have hardly ever asked the internet for my dream interpretations. I've done it a couple of times, and I've gotten really good results. But yeah, so there's interesting things like there's grindstone. I've never dreamt of grindstone. A grotto.
maybe the act of grinding.
For a person
Stone.
to dream of turning a
Family show.
grindstone.
Family show.
Right.
A giant. I could see where someone said like, "Oh man, I had a dream and there was like this really big guy or a giant."
yeah.
Okay, I might go look
Yeah.
for a giant.
But some of those things are kind of antiquated, and I have
Yeah.
that problem
Gas
a lot too.
lamps.
When I look, when I have dreams, that the specific things I dream of that stick out to me are not in those books at all. And like I have one I dreamed. I don't even know how long ago it was. I was at least decades ago. I had this dream, and I won't go into the whole details of the dream, but one of the things that struck me, that stuck out, was this room full of black cats, but
Weird.
their eyes were like lights, like Christmas lights, bright, okay? So their eyes are glowing in primary colors: blue, red, and yellow.
Weird.
And maybe green. I think there may have been some green ones too. But they were bright, like there was lights in their eyeballs. I've never been able to find any kind of explanation for that at all. None.
So bright lights, but not Christmas lights.
Well, no, their eyes were lights.
Oh,
The eyes of these black cats glowed.
black cats. Now that's
Now, I'm
something.
sure black cats could, but to me, the thing that was striking about these cats was their eyes were like lights. They were like so bright in a dark, kind of a dark room with black cats. And like, we're talking lots of them, not just a couple of cats.
Okay, so if you dream of a cat in general, that means it's bad luck.
Okay. Well,
Unless
this was
you
a
kill
long time
it.
ago.
So apparently, if you kill it, it's good luck.
Oh,
But
that is crazy.
if the cat attacks you, your enemies will go away.
Weird. I'm like,
No,
I don't
and see,
wanna
this
dream
was
about
not-
those things, but it's all the things you don't want to dream about that seem to have like a good outcome.
Yeah. So like I would say, so was the cat screaming or anything like
No,
that?
they were just. It was just. I don't remember the specifics. I remember a lot of the dream, but like little specific things are kind of lost to me because, like I said, this was decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I opened a door to this room or a house or something, and the room was full of these black cats with these weird glowing eyes.
Okay, so let's look at door.
But see, the door wasn't the thing. I don't know. To
So
me, the door,
cat,
it was
well,
the
what if you
cats
can- what
in
if
the
you can-
room.
That was the significance. Yeah.
The significance was these cats with these glowing eyes.
Okay, so if you dream of entering the door, it suggests that somebody's talking about you behind your back, which combines with the cat thing that means bad luck. So that could be bad things are about to happen or bad things are happening.
Okay. But what about their eyes?
Yeah,
I mean,
why does that
was-
stand out?
why
And
did
that's
that
where
stand
I
out?
always have a hard time with the book. Like, how do I look that? Like,
How do
okay,
you
let me
look
go
something
at
like that
eyes.
up? How do you, yeah.
EYES.
I'm curious if any of the TikTok people watching have
Yeah,
have
do y'all
any-
have any ideas about that? Like the eyes?
To dream of seeing an eye warns you that watchful enemies are seeking the slightest chance to work injury to your business.
That all goes together.
Yeah.
Bad
To
luck,
dream of brown
entering-
eyes denotes deceit and perfidy. Blue eyes denotes weakness in carrying out any
But
intention.
they weren't the color of people's eyes. I mean, they were
Right.
not. They were like neon.
But see,
bright
watchful
lights.
enemies like the cats are your enemies.
Right.
Multiple enemies of different
Like people-
varieties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or yeah.
That's weird.
I think that's
Now-
where the book kind of points you in the right direction, but then you have to use your intuition
Right.
to
Kind of like
Well, and
tarot.
That's kind
Yeah.
of what I do anyway. I mean, some of my dreams are obvious. Like, if I have a lot of dreams where I'm driving the car and the brakes don't work, or the steering wheel doesn't work, or something like that. Those are obvious. Those are, talking about my lack of control or my fear of losing control and things like that. And so those are pretty obvious. But they, the cats had no significance to me in any way. I didn't have a cat. And they were all black cats, and I would have to go back and look at the context of this dream when it happened to know
Right.
if anything. But it was
Yeah.
so long ago, I don't even remember what was going on, or I don't even remember when it was. But that one has always stuck out to me as something that was so unusual that it had to have had some kind of importance, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think that so my idea of like what happens in your dream is that's the unpacking of the day and the week and all the things going on
Right.
in your life. So it's definitely contextual. It's almost like if you're going to journal your dream diaries, you really have to like write it in line with your other journalings to know like the significance, really understand like why would you dream something like that?
Right.
Like obviously like, when my dad passed away, very shortly after I had a dream about my dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? That dream, if I'd had that dream like 20 years prior, would not have had the same impact,
Right. Right.
or significance, or make any sense whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably would have focused on other parts of my dream more than the parts that I remember the most about my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing like who your enemies are, why you would be worried about enemies, or even if you were aware that you had enemies, would be nice to know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And like I say, I don't remember when that dream was. It's probably logged somewhere,
Yeah.
but I would have to go through years and years of journals to find it. But it always stuck in my memory, because it was just so unusual. So yeah.
I want to say that I have had like a weird recurring dream throughout my life. It's really weird. Like I was swimming in a river And I was swimming with a friend of mine who I know. I still talk to her, but we're not as close anymore. My friend Micah, and we're swimming together in this river, and it was a big river, kind of like the Mississippi, but small at the same time, if that makes any sense. But we were swimming around these pirate ships,
Mm.
like old time pirate ships. And I remember searching for something. We made it to land and we were searching for something, and we ended up at this restaurant, and we saw one of my old high school teachers, and we went up to talk to him, and we told him that we were searching for the meaning of life.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, and I've had that dream since high school.
Oh, that because it's your reoccurring dream. You have
Yeah.
it often.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
How often do you have it?
Not as much now that I'm older, but I don't know, a good few times a year, and it's one of the only dreams that I remember.
Weird. Is it like the same river and the same boats and stuff?
Yeah, the same boats
Huh.
and the
Wow.
same river.
Hmm.
And it's a really blue, very sparkly, like it's not like river water. It's like
Interesting.
beautiful Akatar ocean water.
Guess what she's reading?
Right.
Right.
That's funny. Pirate ship. So I was actually just looking up swimming because I had a dream not too long ago where I was swimming in a pool, and I was trying to figure out, like, okay, would I look up swimming pool, or something along those lines. So I was just looking up swimming. To dream of swimming, let me tell you, there's a word here. I don't even know what this word means. How to say it. Augury. Augury? Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a word. Let me tell you, this book's older than me. All right, so to dream of swimming is an augury of success if you find no discomfort in the act. So basically, you're going to have, success if you're having a good time swimming, right?
Okay.
So sounds like you're having a good time swimming, and you had a task you were trying to accomplish, right? You were trying to get the meaning of life, and you're on a quest to find a restaurant and then find the meaning of life.
Food's important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sustenance, yes.
So this is interesting, Amber. For a young woman to dream that she is swimming with a girlfriend who is an artist in swimming foretells that she will be loved for her charming disposition, and her little love affairs will be condoned by her friends. So
well, that seems appropriate.
I know, but I thought that was really interesting. Like, I was like, wow, you were
interesting.
literally talking about swimming with your girlfriend, your BFF. And then I wondered, like, in your dream, if she ever, like, you watched her swim and you went, wow, she's so good at it. Did she do tricks or nothing that you could think of?
You're the only person I know that's a swimmer.
Well, I don't know. But I just thought it was funny. Like, she's an artist in swimming.
Yeah, that's kind of...
The other parts of swimming, though, like to swim underwater foretells of struggles and anxieties.
Yeah.
And then if you feel yourself going down, much dissatisfaction will present itself to you. So I like the verbiage. This is just like reading tarot cards, the definitions.
Oh, yeah,
or the explanations on the tarot cards.
Well, and one of the things that I caught from her thing was that she said it was a really pristine, clear river.
Yeah.
And
right.
and I just looked up something and it says it's if the river in your dream was clear and calm, it's a good sign. The dream may symbolize peace, fertility, joy, and progress.
Symbolism.
Yes.
That's normal, natural symbolism that you would get in any.
Yes.
Okay, so I just looked up ship, and to dream of ships foretells honor, an unexpected elevation to ranks above your mode in life.
Okay,
Ooh.
well, you were looking for the meaning of life
Yeah.
Right.
around honor
And
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 elevating your
and
life.
you might be talking about that meaning of life might not be literally the meaning of life, but
Yeah.
the meaning in your life.
Yeah.
You're like looking
True.
for meaning in your life and elevating yourself there.
Definitely. Well, I wish I didn't have to like.
I'm
click,
sure
click,
water
click.
has like a huge little section over here. Warts. Oh man.
Well, you
warts
you
not-
look up water, and I'm gonna look up meaning.
Yep. So to dream of clear water foretells that you will joyfully realize prosperity and pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like what you said.
Okay, so good things were eventually going to happen, and I guess now that good things have happened, I haven't had that dream.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So anything that you've ever had in a dream, like that's a reoccurring dream, but have you ever had a dream that was just so abnormal and outside of your normal dream like channel lineup?
Eh. I mean, I've had dreams. I don't know. Mine are typically kind of, if I remember them, they're usually pretty stress filled.
Okay.
And they're a lot of the same kind of things because they're not necessarily a recurring dream, but the same types of, there's a little bit of anxiety there. I'm either trying to go to work or trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to get ready. I'm trying to take a bath. I'm getting ready to
So
do
those
something.
are recurring, yeah.
Well, they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
it's
not
a theme.
reoccurring
It's a
because it's a
theme, yeah.
theme because the dreams are different every time. But I'll be like looking for my hairbrush so I can brush my hair and I can't find it or whatever. Or I'll be trying to do something and somebody will come visit or distract me or something like that.
Like this sounds like your normal day.
It's my normal day, and that's why I say they're usually that. I feel like those are just, kind of expressions of the frustration that I feel with those when those things happen to me in real life. So I don't typically have things that are just so unusual. I'm trying to think if I've had one recently that was very unusual. I know I've told you guys about a few of them. After my husband died, I did have a dream where he was standing in the bathroom and I came up to him and I hugged him and I told him I was so glad he was here. And I knew he was dead, but he was there. And I told him I was glad he was there. And he said, well, I can't stay long. And I said, I don't really care. And to me, that was, kind of my heart, mind, soul telling me, that he's okay or whatever,
Yeah.
and just coming to terms with the fact that he's gone. But, I mean, that's really the most unusual kind of dream I've ever had. I've had weird dreams for sure, but
Yeah. Honestly, like, I feel like the ones that are the weirdest ones when I wake up and I'm like, wow, that was a weird dream, I forget those really quickly.
I do
Yeah,
too.
me
don't
too. I don't
stick.
remember any of those
Maybe
weird
because
dreams.
they just don't make as much sense.
Maybe.
So I
Maybe.
can't really, like, understand them
Uh-huh.
and, like, really place myself and understand, like, okay, this is what I was doing, so that makes sense. Like, the ones that I remember the most are the ones where I'm at work
Mm-hmm.
and it was really stressful, like being at work for whatever reason. Like I had a dream one time after we had been working for home, for a few years now. It's been, this was maybe like I had this dream like a few months ago, and we all went back to work at the office again, and we were all getting our computer set up, and I couldn't get my computer to work. And we were all like really close, and it was stressful because I had to sit next to like 40 different people, and I hadn't been around that many people at work in a long time. And I remember leaving the office, and I was the last person leaving, and I was like, wow, I'm really glad I'm going home again. And it was like, I woke up and I was like, well, that was a weird dream. Like, I really am stressing out about work apparently. And I remember that one. Even though it was very mundane.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had quite a few dreams, from work. And it's interesting because I actually, my kind of one of my reoccurring dreams that I've been working for the same company for like 13 years now. And I still have dreams about my previous job that aren't necessarily like the most pleasant dreams. They're kind of stressful. The ones where you can't get something to work right, or you're trying to get to that job to get there on time, or sometimes I have a dream like that the floor is flooded at that job, but I still have to do my job. And I took a lot of pride that every time I dreamt about work, it was always my old job and not the current job. And I didn't actually start having dreams about work until maybe like a year ago. And they're really not that stressful. It's just like, oh, I'm at work, That's kind of the weirdest things, I guess. Like, they just don't stick. I could say that one of the strangest dreams that I have that's kind of a reoccurring theme, I never have the same dream twice, though. Never.
Me either.
I never have the same dream
well,
twice.
I say that. I've had dreams where they were in the same location more than one, but
yeah,
like an unfamiliar location, but the same location.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of dreams or I have like the same like theme. A lot of dreams are very House of Leaves, where I go into a place and it's a lot bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Yeah.
TARDIS.
Yeah.
Like
I do have dreams like that too.
Cavernous.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about dream like work, like I'm a teacher. So all summer I have nightmares about school.
Well, that I read some stuff. That the most people dream about ordinary things like their home,
Like work
their family, and
home,
work.
yeah.
And some of the most common things that people dream is, and I thought this was interesting because I've never had any one of these dreams that they listed: being chased, being naked in public, missing or failing a test, missing a plane or train, or being lost. I've never had a dream about any of those.
Really?
Never. Never.
I think I might have had, maybe not like naked in public, but not wearing the right clothes in public, I guess.
Huh. Yeah, see, I've
never had any naked in public or anything like embarrassing like that.
No.
Probably I've never been lost either, but I always, like, whenever I'm exploring, it's a good exploring. Like, I want to keep going, but I know I shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been to estate sales that were, like, endless.
Oh,
And I got, like, really deep into the estate sale, and I was like, I really need to leave because the more I keep looking, the further into this house I keep getting, kind of like your, House of Leaves, like, 5-minute hallway, because I'll just keep digging and finding treasure, and like I load up with all this stuff that I want to grab from this estate sale, and then I keep saying, I need to go, I need to just buy this stuff, because like it's almost like my subconscious knows that if I don't check out and pay at this garage sale, I'm not going to ever leave this garage sale, and I'm not going to actually get to take the stuff home with me either. And I end up like waking up at some point, and then I'm like, dang, I've never actually bought anything from an estate sale. I just wander around with like armloads full of stuff. And that's kind of a reoccurring theme, but it's never in the same
like,
place.
Buying something
you're
and
shopping. You're shopping.
shopping,
shopping.
and then
shopping,
but
and
not
shopping and shopping.
Checking out. That
Yeah.
that has
You
to
should
have
look
some
that
kind
up.
of
Look up the word shopping.
that has to have some kind of
And it's
deep
not
meaning.
even just shopping. It's just like if there was like a bunch of free stuff and someone said free stuff.
Yeah.
I can't quit and it's like a gambler.
Maybe it's like
kind
you're
of thing.
an addiction to acquiring things or something
Mhm.
like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you ever had a dream within a dream? Like
No,
you woke you were
never that
dreaming,
either.
or you're doing a dream, and you in your dream you wake up and realize that you're dreaming, but you're still actually dreaming within the dream. I've had those, which I thought was really
Yeah,
odd.
I've never had anything like that before. Thankfully, I've had dreams where
Huh.
I was looking for a restroom, but I never used the restroom while I was dreaming. Thankfully, I mean, just in my dream, but not
Right.
in real life.
Okay, so if you dream of, it doesn't have shopping in here.
Shopping.
It just
Mhm.
has a shop. If you dream of a shop, that forecast that you will be opposed by scheming and jealous friends
Hmm.
in every attempt you make for advancement.
Huh.
Let's see. Let's
I
Interesting.
don't
look
know
at,
if that really applies though, because it's not really a shop.
Okay, so to dream of a store filled with merchandise foretells prosperity and advancement.
Hmm.
An
Yeah.
empty one denotes failure and quarrels.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's not even like a shop. It's
an
always
estate sale. It's a
estate
house,
sales.
yeah.
It's garage
Sale.
sales.
Okay, let's look up
Yeah. And
sale
there's
then.
estate. To dream that you come into ownership of estate. In my book, but there's not anything about.
Yeah, see, and that's the problem that I have with those dream books, because I don't know. The wording is
Yeah,
so specific,
I'm like, is
and
there even
they're
garage
not
sale in here?
general enough. They're because a lot of times they're using examples of certain specific things that people dream,
Okay,
but they're too specific.
to dream of a sale suggests an increase in material possessions
Yeah.
through
Mhm.
a valuable gift or legacy. If you sell something at a sale, expect an increase in your overall wealth. Well, gosh, I need to start dreaming about selling something.
So
Honestly.
I'm curious about your dreams of looking for a toilet, because I've had lots of dreams about looking for toilet or wanting to go to the toilet and not, being hindered from going to the toilet. Those are like some of the most frustrating dreams ever.
Okay, let me tell you about my weird reoccurring ish. And it's a theme. It's not like the same kind of dream over and over again, but it's the same kind of dream, I guess you could say. So I'm just doing whatever. Like a lot of times I am at the gym working out and it's time to go to the locker room, or I'm at high school swim team and I'm done working out or swimming and I need to go to the locker room, or I'm at some function and I'm like, okay, it's time to go use the restroom or time to go shower or try to change clothes. I'm not deliberately looking for a restroom, but then I come upon a place where there's a toilet, and then suddenly I'm like, well, I want to use the toilet now, but I can't because this toilet's terrible.
Oh yeah, I've
Because
had
I
those
see
too.
the toilet,
Yes,
and it's not that it's dirty. It's usually just weird shaped.
or really short, like really low to the ground. I've had those too, and it's like weird.
Okay, so to like go and try. So why do people rush to find the toilet? Right, they're uncomfortable, and so you're in an uncomfortable situation, and then you get there and it's weird shaped or way too low, or you can't use it. Then you're having a hard time getting out of your uncomfortable situation.
Or my high expectations.
Yeah, that's
Mine,
another good one.
The toilet is always like something weird, like a bicycle seat. That's like, I'm like, well, if I sit on that, I'm gonna like make it messy or something. And so then I'm like, there's got to be a better toilet. Why did they put these kind of toilets here when no one can sit in this one? Like one of them was on like a big stack of boxes, and I was like, a person in a wheelchair can't get to this toilet.
Mine are like or like the stalls. The door on the stall doesn't work.
Yeah, there's
or
no
the,
door,
or the stall door touches the toilet, so there's no way you can sit on it.
or the floor is all wet, or something weird
or
like that.
the toilet is dirty. I've had those too.
So those are usually what happens.
I love it. We're talking about toilets. I love
know,
it.
right? And you know what? There are no toilets in this book. I'm like, maybe they have it under something else, like urinal or something.
Maybe
Because I
we
have
just
had
need to
dreams
go,
like that where the toilet was made for a gentleman and not a woman.
I just found I'm looking on dreamingandsleeping.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled up dreaming of a dirty toilet. If you've dreamed about a dirty toilet, it means you have a lot of toxic thoughts and beliefs in your life.
Okay.
And you don't know how to solve your problems and you feel frustrated.
Hey, that's kind of what I said. Kind of similar to what I said. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's some other things.
I just saw urinal. To dream of a urinal.
Oh gosh.
Disorder will predominate in your home.
So they don't have toilet or bathroom, but they have urinal in your book?
Like, who would think to go look for urinal?
Yeah.
Like,
I dreamed about a urinal.
Well, guys probably do because they see them all the time.
Okay, guys, on TikTok, if you're just joining us, we're talking on our podcast about dream interpretations. So if you would like us to interpret a dream that you've had, please pop it in the chat and let's talk about it. I like the face that you just made, Faye.
What kind of face did
she
make?
made like a ooh googly eyed face.
She just probably hopped on and was like, "Why are they talking about toilets?"
Right. That's exactly it.
Okay. What about dreams of? Do you ever dream about homes that is in the dream? It's your home, but it's a house you've never been in before.
I do have dreams like that.
I have almost
weird
always
houses.
I have sometimes dreams about a duplex that we lived in Lubbock before we moved to the Dallas area. So that's like pre-1997. But mostly when I dream of a home, I dream of a house I've never been in. Mm-hmm. And I mean, anytime. And it's always different houses. And sometimes they're really nice houses. And sometimes they're just an ordinary house. But I often have dreams about houses I've never actually lived in.
So interesting. I tend to dream about my childhood home, which is our duplex that we lived at in Lubbock. And that oftentimes is the home, but I know it's the duplex, but it doesn't always look just like it, but sort of does. The other types of homes that I dream of are those like McMansion kind of homes. And there have been a few that have stuck in my head. Like one of them had black and white tile floors. Oh. Yeah. And like I just remembered that like right in the entryway. I don't remember what the dream was about. I remember the floors. And then I remember another house. This one was weird because I had a daughter named Maggie who had curly red hair. Wow. And another daughter, I think it was Megan. So it was Maggie and Megan or something like that. And they were like 5 and 8. And there was like a staircase in the foyer with like a banister, like a nice wooden banister. Uh-huh. And it was a nice big, McMansion house. And I was like, okay, I'd lived in that life,
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I'll dream that again. I'm like, why can't you have like reoccurring dreams about, the family that you want to know more about that, you somehow imagined up,
Yeah,
This is before I was married.
I had a really cool dream one time about a house. And the dream was mainly just about the house. I don't remember what was going on in the dream or anything, but I remember walking into several different rooms, and it was like this huge, you walk into this house and there was a big cathedral, 2-story cathedral ceiling. It was like really tall, and one whole wall was nothing but glass all the way out with this gorgeous view. And then there was a kitchen and there was stairs and, and it was the craziest cool house, but I've never been in that house, never seen a house like that at all. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird to imagine it up. So here's another one. I forget how many like themes. I should write down all these themes because I have them, pretty often. Maybe every 3 months or so, I'll have a dream like this or that. Tornadoes.
Oh.
So I'll have a dream that I'm like driving, and like for instance, I had a dream that I lived in the Dallas area and I went to work, or maybe it was vice versa, in Arkansas.
Wow.
And I drove from Dallas to Arkansas, but it was only like a 30-minute drive. And it was like very off-roady in the mountains, and then it was like more like the Grand Canyon kind of looking.
Okay.
It's like random,
Not
right?
Arkansas, right?
Not Arkansas, not Oklahoma in between, right?
Yeah.
Or Texarkana. And I remember in particular this one time I had to drive back, and on the way home it was like a different scenery and twice as long of a drive, of course.
Of course.
And it was more woodlands like, and I remember seeing like a tornado in the distance, and I was like, oh, I should pull over. So I pulled over at this rest stop, and two different dreams. This is where this one goes this way and this one goes that way, but they were kind of similar. And in this dream, the rest stop was a cave, and I went in the cave, and there was like this whole thing where people gave tours, but instead of it being like the inside of a cave, it was just like a jungle on the other side.
Okay.
Like you walk through the cave, and 5 minutes later, you're like in a jungle.
Okay.
And then suddenly it's okay to be outside on the other side of the mountain, right? So this other dream that I had, I pull over and I'm at like a dairy mart in like Idalou, which is like this really small town outside of Lubbock, right? And which is like on the other side of Dallas and Arkansas, right?
A long way off.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm at the dairy mart, and instead of going in like the front door like everybody else, I went in the back door where the kitchen was. But like one side of it was a kitchen and the other side was, guess what? A thrift store.
Oh. Shopping.
Yes.
So there you are, shopping
and
again.
Instead of like going to eat a hamburger at the dairy mart, there's a
going
tornado
shopping.
And
outside.
you're avoiding the tornado, which is obviously the symbol of something destructive or something that's disrupting your travel.
That's dangerous.
Something that's
So
dangerous.
maybe
I'm
shopping
walking-
is your happy place.
Walking down the aisles of a thrift store that has like craft junk.
Like crafting and thrifting, that's your happy place. So to get away from something destructive, you go into your safe haven that is
Shopping? That's
Shopping.
not a good thing.
No,
That is not a good thing. The tornado is actually better. Probably. Just get in the tornado.
they're both the
and-
destroyer of life
Right.
and world.
Right? So, can't find a toilet, and I can't stop shopping.
Hey,
And I live in all these weird houses. Yeah.
And then I dream and have nightmares about work and teaching. I probably have had a dream about teaching where I wasn't wearing clothes or something weird, but yeah. And it's weird that my nightmares about teaching started early this year. Normally they start like earlier than they do, but now it's just like a recurring thing. I guess that's telling me something, huh?
Stressed.
That I need to
It's stressing you
retire.
out. It's stressing you
Retire
out.
from teaching.
Yeah, see, I don't dream about work. I don't. I mean, I literally my dreams are so boring. I don't know. They are.
Yeah, I don't remember
I
a
have
lot of the epic
well,
dreams
I
anymore.
I don't remember my dreams a lot anyway either. Either I get awakened so suddenly that I don't I don't remember anything. I don't remember what's going on. Or I just, am not in, REM sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
At the time when I wake up.
I'm pretty sure
So.
that I dream every night. Because
Well, everybody dreams every
Right.
night. I mean, that's your brain dump.
yeah, but I feel like I have like pretty interesting dreams most of the time. I mean, not something to write home about. I mean, literally, I have had some dreams that have turned into things that weren't just like a memory of a weird dream, but I want to be able to remember when I wake up to remember my dream. I want to remember my dream. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't value remembering it right when I wake up because I'm groggy and tired, and then it's gone like that.
I guess that's why people keep journals by their bedside so they can wake up and write them down.
No, I have a
immediately.
journal by
I don't
my
ever
bed,
think
but I
about
don't think
that.
about
No,
it.
I
I
don't
don't
ever.
like to handwrite mine.
consciously think
I
about
prefer
it.
to type it on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And but I kind of just play through the dream when I wake up. If it's an interesting dream, I will try to just play through it in my head multiple times. While I get up and get a drink and make my pot of coffee or whatever, and then that way, when I can sit down to type it, I've recalled it multiple times, and that helps me kind of remember it. And sometimes as I start typing, I start remembering other details that I had forgotten.
Mm-hmm,
So, I mean, and sometimes I forget some of the details, but the greater part of it sticks with me. And yeah.
I wish, yeah, I mean, I wish I could just like write them down, like as they were happening, because sometimes I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah, that was a
I
really
know
good dream." Like,
it's a shame
I've
there's not
invented
a way to
things.
record your brain.
Yeah, I know. Like, I have thoughts, and I like woke up and I was like, I just solved a problem that the world needed
Yes.
solved.
I just wrote a
And then
song in
boom,
my head.
it's gone.
And it's gone.
Yes,
I've written songs in my
yes.
head and
I
they're
have
gone.
imagined some things,
Yes.
and I'm just like, God, why can't I remember that? Because
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I remember. Okay, this dream I don't remember enough of any of it except that someone on the other side of the world was saying a prayer to me, and I could hear it in my dream.
Wow.
In my dream, that was happening. And
In
I
your dream,
knew,
someone was praying,
and I could
and you
hear
could
it.
hear it in your dream.
Yes. And I didn't know who they were, and I knew that I didn't know who they were, but I knew they were praying specifically to me. And I remember
To you or for you?
both. Not worshiping to me, but praying
Mhm.
for me, I guess you could say. Yes.
Okay.
Not to me. Thank you. Wow. Wow. No.
Getting a little complex over there.
No, yeah, they were praying for me. And I don't know, like they didn't know me. They knew they didn't know me, but they knew me because it was significant to them to pray for me. And they knew that I was hearing their prayer, I guess.
Mhm.
Right? And it was like a whisper. Like I heard it in my dream. And my dream brain knew that's what it was. It wasn't like I was in both places at the same time. It was like, I don't know. It was like I was in both places. I woke up and I knew that's what that was. And part of me wonders if, like, maybe at some point in some part of my life, somebody had prayed for me.
Well, you have an aunt that lives on the other side of the world.
Exactly.
So.
And so, maybe. And so that one has always stuck with me because part of me also thinks that it's not just a brain dump, but there's possibility for something else there.
Oh, yeah, like a psychic ability
Astral
or something
projection.
like that.
I have had multiple people tell me that I leave my body whenever I dream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have been to places in my dream where I was not walking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like swimming in the air, not in the pool, but like I was, moving. And it was like a little out of control because I wasn't very good at it.
Right.
But I was going somewhere. So I've wondered, I wonder if, that's a possibility. Like it really, because we have no way of like testing it. We have no idea. Like,
Well, and we've talked
it is
about this
another
before,
dimension in there.
that
It's a whole
I've had
world in there.
dreams that later came true.
Mm-hmm.
They were not, they didn't come true exactly the way I dreamed it, but they were significantly similar enough that I felt like the dream was somewhat predictive. I've always wondered how that could possibly be. And one of the biggest examples of that, in fact, I just told this to somebody else the other day. A dream I had when I was in high school. I had this huge crush on this guy at school, and um, he did not have so much of a crush on me, but that's neither here nor there. But I had this dream that he died, and that I went to go spend the day with his family as they were mourning his death. Well, when he turned 18 years old, not maybe a month or two after I had this dream. I'm not sure what the distance was, because I didn't write the dream down, but I remember telling a friend of mine about the dream. So, and then when he turned 18 years old, or sometime very shortly after he turned 18 years old, he rolled his pickup truck. And from the stories that I've been told about this accident, he had one of those little Chevy Love pickup trucks, the little kind of mini pickups,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably was thrown from the vehicle, because this is back in the day when nobody wore seatbelts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cab of the truck was crushed, like really crushed. But he somehow walked away from that accident and walked to another friend's house and showed up on their doorstep, you know, bloody but alive.
Wow.
And they couldn't figure out how he could have survived that accident. And so it's not the same. It's, he didn't die in real life, but it was like maybe that was a possibility that could happen,
Or an alternate universe.
an alternate
or...
something. I've also had a dream many years later than that, probably in the late 80s, early 90s maybe. I had this dream that there was this a entertainment facility that opened up, and it was like a giant ball pit and climbing, monkey bars and climbing things like that. But it was for adults, not kids. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. And then like months after that, they opened a Discovery Zone in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And I had never heard of Discovery Zone because they weren't in anywhere near us. I'd never heard of one. And they opened one there. And I thought that is kind of weird too. It's not exactly the same kind of thing, but it is the same kind of place,
Yeah.
So I had that dream, and I've had multiple dreams like that. And that was when I started writing my dreams down earnestly, because I wanted to have the proof that I actually, started dreaming. And I had sometimes written my dreams down before that, but that was when I really started dreaming and writing things down, because I just wanted to have that proof there that I dreamed something before it happened or whatever.
Right.
But I've had quite a few things like that. I've also had I've not had, the only dreams I've had where a dead person came back to my dream were recently with my husband. But Mark, before he passed away, he had very often had dreams about visitations from people who had passed on. And his dreams were like, in the dream, the person was deceased and they came to give him a message, or he was spending time with them, knowing that they were dead, but he was spending time with them before they had to move on or whatever. And he apparently, his nephew also had similar dreams like that. And of people who had passed on. And the day that Mark died, we received his phone while the hospice people were here to declare him. His phone buzzed, and he had a message on his phone. And a person, whoever texted him, it didn't have a name. It just said, "Hey, I had the weirdest dream about you. You were walking across the campus at SPC, which is where he used to teach and where he was on the advisory committee board. And it said you were walking across the campus and you had a big smile on your face, and we hugged, and it didn't seem weird or anything."
Yeah.
And I saw that message. I mean, this is like within minutes of, within an
It's
hour
probably like
of us
an
finding,
hour. Yeah.
within an hour of us finding him dead in the morning when we woke up. So, that I thought was the most bizarre thing, because it was similar to him having his visitations from his uncle and his one of his best friends and other people. So I feel like there's something there with that as well. I don't think it's wishful thinking on someone's part to see someone in their dreams like that, because I did find out who the person was, because I texted them back and asked them who it was, because they weren't in his address book. And it turned out to be one of the other instructors at the college. And so it's not someone who would have been thinking he was dead and wishing that he'd show up in their dreams, or anything. They didn't even know
Right.
that he was dead. And it's not somebody that would have been wishing to see him or hang out with him or whatever. It was a little more casual of an acquaintance, not entirely casual, because but it's definitely not somebody who would normally dream about Mark visiting them in a dream. So
Yeah.
I just thought that was very, very unusual.
Yeah, I
And-
definitely felt like that was him, like, visiting places.
Visiting places. Well, and there are some many cultures who believe that after someone passes, they go visit all their favorite places or whatever, and they walk the earth or roam the earth, I should say, for 40 days or whatever before they move on. And so, maybe that's what that was. And he was happy to be there because that place meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's very interesting.
Well, Miss Amber, did you bring your dream interpretation book, or I know
I
you were really excited because it was a new one that you got.
Yeah, I got a new one, but of course I didn't bring it, so I had to. Yeah, I know. So
And
I had to pull it up on Kindle.
We actually postponed
Yes.
this episode already once because she forgot the book.
Well, I have it up here on my computer.
Oh, it's on your
yeah.
Kindle.
Yeah,
That's
it's on
right.
It's
That's
on
right.
my Kindle, and it's the 12,000 Dreams one.
Yeah, hers is better than yours. So
Yeah.
2,000 more things.
2,000 more dreams that make no sense.
A Friday.
What I do like about accessing it on the Kindle is that I can go like straight to the letter.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. Now, see, I used to have a really cool dream interpretation book, and it was a paperback book, but it looked more like a thesaurus or a dictionary or something, and it was just an alphabetical listing of single words. So if you were looking for toilet, you'd go to toilet, and it would tell you what a toilet meant. And if you were, it didn't have other people's dreams. I dreamed about this, and then explain the dream. It was literally this word means this word means
Yeah,
that.
I mean that's what this is.
Is
this,
it? Okay.
It's just a dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you dream about ibuprofen,
Yeah.
you it means that a happy event is about to happen.
Weird.
Okay. Interesting.
It's always, and that's where it's interesting. Like all of the things that are like negative things,
Mm-hmm.
like being attacked by animal, or I think of ibuprofen as a negative thing
Because
you
you
need
need
it
it for
for
pain
like
or
a
something,
headache
right.
or
Mhm.
something. And so it just almost seems like when you dream of negative things, it's a good prophetic
Well, it's
thing
like
a lot
it's
of times.
like they used to say, if you dream about a wedding, it's a death. If you dream about a death, it's a birth. If it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I
things
mean,
like
it's
that.
usually like the opposite. And it's weird, like some of these things, like it just has one meaning. But if you dream about a horse, there's like 10, 12 different meanings.
Oh wow,
Like
interesting.
if you dream about a horse, it means that you could get money. Or if you're riding a horse, you'll be injured. If you see stallions, you might have passion coming in your life.
Interesting. So yours
Uh,
is almost more like a thesaurus than
Yeah, if you
or-
dream of fording a stream on horseback. Okay.
Wow, that's specific.
That's specific. You will soon experience good fortune and rich pleasures,
Wow.
unless you cannot see through the stream.
Wow, this must be the same. This has to be the
I'm
same
telling
book.
you, it's the
Okay,
same book.
To ride a horse,
2,000 more.
to ford a stream, you will soon experience some good fortune and
Yes,
will
I'm
enjoy
telling
rich
you.
pleasures.
That's why I was looking at your
Yeah.
publisher, because I'm telling you, it's the same book, but more
With
up
more,
to date.
they've added to it. They've updated
Yeah,
it.
to
There you
see a wounded horse foretells trouble of friends.
go.
Dead horse signifies disappointment.
Oh, beating a dead horse, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
riding a horse that bucks, it has to buck, suggests that your
Yeehaw.
desires will be difficult to reach.
Mm.
If you get thrown off the horse, you will have a strong rival in business. And if you get kicked by the horse after you're thrown off, of course, you will be repulsed by the one you love, and your fortune will be diminished by ill health. So you're going to get sick.
Wow.
Yeah. And then if you dream of catching a horse, you will see improvement in business. So you want to catch a horse instead of fall off a horse.
Mine says great improvement in business.
Well, actually mine does too. I was paraphrasing, yeah. And then if you see a spotted horse, that means that you will have a profit. So a lot of horse symbolism means money.
Actually, so I was looking, most of the little definitions, each page has like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 words on it. Horse has 4 pages.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Wow.
horse
4
stuff.
pages, and then there's horseshoe,
Yeah, horse.
and then horse
horseshoe,
trader.
Horse trader, and then you can click on mine. It says see mare, and so I
Oh.
click on
Oh,
mare.
neat.
Yeah,
On the Kindle edition?
on the Kindle,
Oh,
yeah.
I may have to switch.
and so then there's a whole other thing for mares.
Interesting.
It's on Kindle Unlimited, by the way.
Cool. So it's free.
Yeah, pretty much, because
Well,
I mean,
it's not free. You paid
It's
for
free
it.
for me, yeah. I paid $12 a month for it,
There you
basically.
go.
Yeah.
12 bucks a month for unlimited dream
So what does
access.
it mean when you're?
Yes.
I know what I think it means when you're driving a car. I think it means that you're in
this
control.
one has a horse-drawn buggy.
or you're trying
Old.
to trying to control
horsepower?
Is
Breakfast.
so what does
car.
driving a car mean?
Driving.
Buggy, driving a buggy.
It's going to be faster for her to look it up. Let's see. Driving.
Let's see who looks it up. Why won't it go?
Driving. Oh, it has a little C, cab, or carriage. I am not kidding. It's got a little plus sign and it says C. Okay. This
Let's
was
see if
published
I
in
can have-
1800s. Okay.
Let's see if I have driving
To
on
dream of driving a carriage
here.
signifies
Well, it's an
unjust
auto carriage.
criticism of your seeming extravagance. You will be compelled to do things which appear undignified.
Okay, mine
Oh,
actually
wow.
has driving on here.
I dream about driving a
That's
lot.
part of the 2,000 more mine is driving.
They updated it to have
right?
cars.
They have computers in
Cars.
yours.
Yeah.
Do they have
To-
calculators instead
Did
of
you
an
look
abacus?
up car?
I haven't gotten that far.
Okay.
So to dream of driving a public cab denotes menial labor with little chance of advancement.
Oh my god.
It is the same book.
Yeah.
It is the same book.
If it's a
That's
wagon,
Okay, quit banging on the table over there.
Sorry.
if it's a wagon, you will remain in poverty. Man, if I'm dreaming about wagons,
Mine's saying the same thing that you're
Okay.
reading out loud.
there's nothing
Okay,
about
I know
cars.
what
Let
book
me look
not
at
to
it.
buy now.
You already bought this one. Joke's on you.
not for myself.
Well, now I
Joke's
wish
on
that
you.
now I wish that I hadn't have bought this one.
Car.
That's funny.
Candlestick. I'm telling you, there was a gas lantern in here.
Well, people do
like-
still have gas lamps in their front yard.
Ew, canker. Could you
Ew,
imagine? I know,
ew.
right? Cars. To dream of seeing cars denotes journeying and changing in quick succession. To get on one.
On a car.
Right, on a car, standing on it. Shows that travel which you held in contemplation will be made under different auspices than had been calculated upon. All right. To miss a car foretells that you will be foiled in an attempt to forward your prospects. To get off of a car, like, is this like
Isn't
a
it
rail
train
car?
cars?
This is probably a train
It's like
car.
the same
I'm
as
like,
horse.
you don't get off of a car, you ride in it or drive it. To stand on the platform of a streetcar while it's running.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. I'm
Okay.
telling you, this old book.
Your book
Let
is
me
old.
look at the published date on this. London, New York, Toronto, and Sydney, 1995.
Really?
Yeah.
And they're still talking about well, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it took them 100 years to get all of the definitions in here.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's
I'm telling you,
horrible.
it looks like it was made on a typewriter. All right. Well, I would love to hear what you all listeners have as far as your dreams. Do you have some weird reoccurring dreams or one that really stood out to you? We'd love to hear it. So definitely check us out on modernmusings.net. We also have a Facebook group, MMC Chat, where you can chat us up there. Modernmusings.net, we got some blogs coming your way with some more updated content available there coming soon to you.
I want to know if any of our listeners have a better dream journal or
Yes,
dream
please. Find something better than this dream book that I have.
We'll
We'll have
If
to
they have one
post
that's
this
really
one
good.
on Heard It on a Podcast.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
like
will.
We'll share it so you
Yeah.
can go look at my antiquated dream book.
I feel like maybe we need to write one. Just
Right? Make my own. For sure.
Make your own interpretations.
But also special thanks to all of our TikTok viewers that's hung around tonight.
Yeah.
We had a few, Henry Sue and K-Rick. Sorry if I said your name wrong. You two have been hanging in there for the long haul. So if you really enjoyed the podcast, TikTok Live, we'll actually have the actual podcast posting soon on anywhere you get your podcast. It's Modern Musings. And Apple is
Yeah,
probably my favorite
Apple,
place to get it, but
Audible,
Podbean. So anywhere you
YouTube,
can
even.
get,
Yeah,
check
yep.
us out. Yeah, actually, all of our episodes are on YouTube as well, so you can subscribe to us there as well. Usually, our episodes are launched around midnight Central Standard Time ish on Wednesdays. We've been doing podcasts. This is our 4th season now. So we're like
Almost
well
through
into
with the fourth.
So,
Yeah.
how many episodes do we have?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Like 50 in the past 3, and then the first season had like
not as many.
not that
yeah.
many. I would just say
Yeah.
let's just say 5 or
Yeah.
10.
So we've got close to two. We'll have
About
we'll
10,
have
yeah.
more
Close
than
to 200
by the-
episodes, and we talk about a lot of different stuff. So definitely check us out.
Yeah, each week
Um,
is different.
Each week is different. We have talked about goal setting. We have talked about the Lord of the Rings and Marvel and DC, and we've
That was
talked
last
about
week,
Yeah, last week we
Brene
talked
Brown,
about DC and Marvel.
yeah,
Marvel.
we've talked about writing and literature and book talk. Man,
goal
so many
setting,
different topics.
house cleaning,
AI,
Oh my gosh.
housekeeping stuff,
Tips and
Decor, house
health.
decor.
health and fitness.
World Goth Day. We have touched on
We hit
everything.
the run the gamut here. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely check us out again. Looking forward to our next episode. What are we talking about next week?
Next week we are talking about geocaching. So we're gonna
geocaching.
we're gonna be going outside finally because
Goodness.
by the
maybe
time
I need to
this-
get outside.
by the time this episode airs,
You need some vitamin D.
it'll hopefully the weather will be cooling off and we can get outside and do something fun.
Amber's like, no thanks.
No, man, I have been outside most of lately. Yeah.
I've been
All
out a lot lately in the heat too.
Oh, me not so much.
Ready for it to cool down.
Yeah.
Already.
Ready for Halloween.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's coming up.
It's like 100 days or something like that. It's close.
Yeah.
Maybe less than that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
By the time we're recording, because we record in advance, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe by the time this airs, Halloween's coming up. And it'll be
it will be. It'll be.
And it'll be like
it won't
70
be that
degrees
far
outside.
away.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
won't be too far.
Yeah.
We'll already be buying our Halloween decorations.
Oh, you
and
know we
stuff.
will.
I keep
I'm
mine
already
up
buying-
year round. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Right? I have skeletons everywhere.
Like, there's a thing
Oh, I have
called
cobwebs.
Summerween, right? Oh my gosh, I hate the spiders outside right now. Like,
Oh, they're everywhere. It's gross.
my gate,
Ugh.
going out the
Ugh.
gate, I have to like go through like this, big like woo of spider webs
Oof.
trying to get out the gate of my front yard.
So yeah, we get distracted and kind of go off topic. A
Well,
lot
we all
too,
have
so,
ADHD,
yes.
so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to connecting with you guys again. Again, thank you so much for sticking around, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.